about being safe wherever we are, whether it's online or outside or with our best friends in our own house. Because despite popular opinion, your friends are not only those that are in your close contact, in your community. I mean, I wish I had friends in my community. That'd be awesome. I still have a few, but that's a whole other story. So, where I wanted to start out with is what I find fascinating about this phenomena that I'm directly looking at right now and bringing into evidence on August 10th, 2018, would be that it's much easier to hack your iPhone. We all know that. But isn't that interesting that I have no options on my little playlist? So what I want to do is I want to start with this video so y'all can see it. And the reason I do bring this into the Fair Use Act of 1976 is because of what I know about the Glascock family. 1789 was a big important year. And they bring it up right here. Now the other reason I use it is because, see, that little orange-headed girl is me. I mean, believe what you want, but I really felt like her as I was listening to this thing. Now, keep in mind, we all know, well, I shouldn't say we all know because that is a falsity. Okay, now, where I'm at is the U.S. National Archives, and this was published on March 3rd, 2016. Okay. Now, in 2016, most people would have still listened to the History Channel and said that they're bringing accurate information. I mean, it was very, very popular, as most of you know. Well, the gossip on the street is that it became compromised somehow, probably with a new takeover in the corporate structure or something. But all of a sudden, the people in the know were saying, man, the History Channel blows. I mean, they're just pumping the same shit that the other shows are. What do I know? So, let me play you this video. And like I said, under fair use, especially when they're going to educate you on your Constitution and how do we amend.
It was springtime.
I don't see a problem with this. 1789, springtime. Now wait. Now just wait a second. So they're going to start out the video and refer to 1789. Now, did I just climb out from under a boulder, or didn't we hear about the Constitution in 1776 and go fight, win, yay, and this is America? Well, the other thing I need to bring up right now is just the other day, and dadgum, I wish I would have wrote it down, but I was laying flat and I was meditating, and I didn't want to break that wave, let's say. But anyhow, they actually mentioned the name of the very, 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 very first president, because, George Washington was no more the first president than I'm a 16-year-old girl. And to make that more interesting, always remember that in this never-ending story, George Washington, for some reason, decided to honor a great Glascock by the name of George, and that was my uncle's name. I hope I'm telling the right story, but anyhow, I have it over in the book, trust me. Well, anyhow, he was a doctor and he was very involved with early government, and that would be this 1789 song and dance, because that's the year he was murdered. So, I find this very, very synchronistic that now we're erasing those years that the Glascocks were here before it became America. And how do I know that? Well, because you can Google search it, and look up the Glascocks, and you'll find a Thomas and Jane Glascock. And they had this patent in 1643. But, Google, I guess they say the dog ate it and they don't know what patent it is, but if you go to 1643 patents, you'll find the Land Patent Act connected to the Glascocks. So, when you think these days that you own your house, and you've heard those horror stories where they annex your property like they're doing in U City with all the TIF money. We'll see all these people that are barely hanging on day to day. Well, now they're going to lose their homes because they're going to build it for the wealthy. Who the hell are the wealthy in St. Louis or anywhere? But St. Louis, I can validate that because we have one of the lowest socioeconomic standards of living in the United States. This is serious. And they want to build a playground for who? But anyhow, see, the Glascocks were here as indigenous people to this land before 1776. And I know I don't look like an Indian squaw, but don't judge a book by its cover. Kind of like I had to tell, someone that's picking on me. We're all slaves. Don't you put me in another group just because I'm white. It's wrong. It was wrong when they decimated the indigenous. And oh, by the way, if you're watching my international coverage, oh, everybody's heated up with this old switch out the kids, steal one, take one, clone one, make one story. South America's pissed. And I was listening to something out of England this morning, but they weren't speaking the English. It was, symbols. And I listen and I pick up words. And everything that's going on globally, oh yes, 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 it is getting connected to the United States. And keep in mind, it's not our damn fault that we were an experiment by some freak show dynasty that was always fighting over the throne and killing off their very own just to have that power and control. So don't be surprised that this would go on current time, right? Let's get on with our education. Oh, it does not look like it did back then. Oh no, little red, you need to grow up. Oh, is that like the Me Too movement, Red? Which I'm not a part of, by the way.
Especially in the beginning. Ridiculous. What's keeping me from changing we the people to we the penguins?
Well, first off, penguins have more rights than people.
Fathers made change difficult. Good. Even adding the Bill of Rights was hard. What? The Bill of Rights? Freedom of speech and all of that wasn't part of your
Hey, freedom was an invention. The Americans defined that term to make people think they were free. Bingo. I got it in a book.
No, change it. Writing the Constitution was no magic trick.
It wasn't. Wait. Hey, wait, kid. Wait. They just said it wasn't a magic trick. Now, I beg to differ, because spell casting, language, etymology, as those of us that travel in this circle well are aware of, that is spell casting, so it was a magic trick. It was instigated by dark forces, and it is a battle of power and principalities, my dear friends.
Our Constitution would have to somehow incorporate new ideas. So they gave it Article 5.
Wrong. They keep looping the same things. It's a plug-in algorithm program. You vampires. Nobody's coming up with any new ideas. I mean, they are now. Last couple years we've been working. I don't know who all these wigs are. And they're not the musicians I run with.
So, how exactly does the Constitution get amended? When an idea has enough popular support, women ought to have the right to vote.
Wait. Women ought to have the right to vote. Now, in the beginning, I mean, what? Was it just some jackasses saying, hey, man, let's let them think that their opinion matters? Because only our opinion matters. Because obviously there was a very small group voting at first. Especially if the women couldn't vote. And the people of color couldn't vote. And oh yeah, that big business, the prison system, you don't get to vote there either. I mean, they're busting the voting booths constantly, being compromised. I can't believe anybody thinks their vote counts in this system that we're dealing with right now. I mean, do people have that much false ego? They really want to believe that somebody believes their opinion matters? Look at my story. My opinion has never mattered. Which is why I now document it for the Akasha. And it may still not matter in this physicality, in this world, but oh, I promise you, whatever you do here and you do with a true heart and walk into that unknown, it does affect the eternal now, and it does affect the universe. And the universe does return it. No, I'm not a big proponent of the law of attraction. They prostituted it and monetized it and made a game out of it, just like this. Did I ever mention I don't like games too much, but I'm playing the biggest game of my life? And I'm digging it. But don't ask me to play stupid games. Or games you're going to get pissed if I win. I mean, it's really not if I win. If I get to do what I do, everybody benefits. And that's all I know. And I'll benefit either way. I mean, I love you guys. Right, let's get on with it. I haven't voted for decades. Blow me sideways. Blow me sideways.
If it makes it out of committee, the full chamber debates. And if 2/3 of members vote for it, it passes. Then it becomes an amendment.
But the vote's rigged.
It goes to the other chamber and
What do you call them? Those people that take all the money and the payoffs, like the insurance company, you know, people like that, big strong groups. Fucking life insurance. How stupid is that these days? Even if you get buried for 20 grand, man, you know they'll dig that shit up. There's not enough room for everybody to go underground. Oh, the vampires and you kids. No, we can make some changes. Right, why can't we? Yeehaw. Okay. Alright, so that was really good, see? And this is the credits for everybody that made this thing that they talk about called history. And we know the spoils of war and the victors are who write the history.